What's up, veterans? It's JB coming to you live. I am 100% permanent total, and this is part 6 of our video series. And my question to you is, who got the big joker? You know, in a game of spades, you know you got the big joker and the little joker, and whoever got the big joker, no matter when you play the game, in the beginning, in the middle, or the end, you're going to win the book, right? So I want you to strap in right now. If you're in your car, strap in your seatbelt. I don't want you to get no accident, but this is really going to blow your mind. Who's got the big joker? Now, when you're doing the element number 3, the medical nexus opinion, there's a lot of components that go along with the medical nexus opinion letter. To begin with, we're going to talk about the requirements or the specialties of the doctors that are needed for a medical nexus. Now, I told you from the top of the video series, we talked about we only do the most prevalent claim disabilities, orthos, which are musculoskeletal things, ear, nose, and throat, migraines, tinnitus, GERD, diabetes, mental health, things of that nature. Now, what I want to direct your attention to right now on this screen, we're going to talk about the VBA contract examiners. This is the person that you're going to go in the ring with that hits harder than Mike Tyson. I'm talking about 18 times harder than Mike Tyson. So you got to know who your opponent is and the rules of the game before you lay the first card down of spades, right? No matter if there's no money on the line or not, you want to know the rules of the game, right? So why is it you're going to gamble when millions of dollars of benefits are on the line, tax-free, and all the other intangible benefits that's available to you? Now, when the VBA contract examiner sits down with you, they got to present a signature, their credentials, their area of practice, the specialties such as cardiologists, orthopedics, internal medicine, and so on for that medical opinion to be valid. So you got to already know that the VA has already checked them out. And in fact, they have sent you a letter in the mail of the address, the time to go to that contract examiner. And they have already told you their credentials, how long they've been practicing, have they been trained for military sexual trauma, things of that nature. This is all on the letters from VES, QTC, and other contract examiners, okay? Now, these are billion-dollar companies that they're contracted with, and so they've been vetted already. So they already got the weight against you. Now, if you have a non-VA healthcare provider doing a medical nexus for you, they need to have the signature, printed name and credentials, the area of practice specialty, the phone number or fax number of that doctor, the medical license number, and the national provider identifier. That goes for medical nexus letters and disability benefits questionnaires. DBQs we talk about. They're not mandatory, but if you're going to submit them, you got to make sure that you have all of the above. Okay, now going a little further, all right, let's see. And sorry about me getting in front of this. They don't want to have any doubt. They're looking for doubt in your claim, doubt in your big joker. So you got to make sure that the exceptions include the phone or fax number not required if the DBQ is otherwise satisfactorily completed and the provider's contact information can be verified via what? Internet search. Yes, the VA Rater is going to search that doctor's information. It's so cool to know when you're a New Life Insider that our doctors have been vetted as well. We have our license numbers. We have our MPI numbers. We have all the data that they can go and verify if they need to do an internet search, and they will. If there's any inaccuracies in your big joker, they may reach out and call them. They may reach out and fax them. They may do a lot of things because we've heard from our providers with New Life Insider that they've done that. So you want to deal with a company. If you're not dealing with New Life veterans, you want to deal with the company that you know for a fact that they can be called, they can be faxed, their license can be verified online because they're going to check. Especially if you are geographically dislocated from that particular physician. Let's say you live in Texas and you are New Life Insider and my doctor is based in Atlanta, Georgia, and they do a telehealth, which is maybe, outside 100 miles from Texas. They need to verify, did you fly to see that person or verify to see the telehealth CMP or telehealth examination, excuse me. So whenever they're allowed and they're legal, because the VA is now, because of COVID, is doing a lot of telehealth CMP exams. So it's quite legal to have a telehealth medical nexus. Now, there's a lot of components with medical nexus. They have to be the indication of association by highly likelihood statements. It's highly likely this is associated with its injury in service. But the second most powerful thing about a medical nexus is they have to provide a medical rationale. That means it has to make sense. So it just can't have the license on the letterhead, where the doctor's located, the address, fax number. It has to have the highly likelihood and the medical science behind the relationship. Let's take an example for migraine secondary to tinnitus. There has to be some kind of medical rationale, whether it's literature, publications, whether it's whatever they mention as a rationale, the pathophysiological path between tinnitus and migraines. It has to make medical sense, okay? Because you're going up against someone that have already been vetted, as you can see. And this information is in the adjudication manual that they use to make a decision at the VA rater. So I want to give you guys a really good example of a case that had a negative opinion of a veteran. Okay, I'm going to go to an actual case, and I don't know if you can see all this jargon because it's black and white, and please forgive me, but I'm going to go. This person was going for service connection for migraine variants as secondary to tinnitus. This is a court case from the Board of Veterans Appeals. I want you to see the citation number, May 26, 2022. It had a docket number. Somebody had been waiting 3 to 5 years to get called up, and a veteran law judge at the bottom left-hand side ruled in the veteran's favor. Veteran law judge, his name is Sean Speranza. This is a legal case that went past the regional office. You do not want your case to go past the regional office, because you're going to be sitting in limbo for something they could have adjudicated within 4 months. Okay, so I want to take you up to the top where it says entitled service connection for migraines, including migraine variants as secondary service connected tinnitus. All right, that's what they're claiming. So we want to go to the findings, the reason and basis for findings. Okay, let's go right here. The board acknowledges that the June 2020 VA examiner provided a negative medical opinion against the possibility that the veteran's migraine headaches are due to the result of a service-connected tinnitus. However, the board finds the opinion was inadequate. The VA contract examiner that the VA is paying made an inadequate opinion. How? For not supporting its conclusions with reference to clear medical principles or medical literature, ladies and gentlemen. Rather, the medical basis of the opinion was difficult to discern and ultimately unclear. Inadequate medical examinations include examinations that contain only data and conclusions. Do not provide an etiology, that means beginning. Do not provide an etiological opinion, are not based on a review of medical records, or provide unsupported conclusions. She provided unsupported inclusions. All right, so, however, let's go to the next line. Right here it says, if you could tell, however, there is a positive medical big joker evidence in support of the claim. Initially, the veteran submitted medical literature on a relationship. What did he submit? Medical literature on a relationship between tinnitus and headaches, which is further evidence in support of the claim, albeit limited in probative value due to its generalized principles without comment of the facts of this case. Further, a May 2020 letter by a private treating physician, Dr. KB. Ladies and gentlemen, New Life veterans, we got private doctors that's been vetted as well. Listen, found that it is least as likely as not his migraine headaches are associated with his service-connected tinnitus. That sentence alone is not enough. Dr. KB expressly relied upon familiarity with the veteran's medical history and review of medical literature. So the doctor that got in his own medical literature, noting that he found several articles, in the last decade that showed an association between migraine headaches and tinnitus. Thus, the board finds the VA treating physician's opinion is highly probable evidence in support of the claim. So, in addition, there is competent and credible lay evidence, including the veteran's and daughter's credible lay statements to support this contention. Ladies and gentlemen, all medical nexus letters are not the same. So be careful who you're paying for. They telling you they provide those medical nexus letters. They got a fee, but you don't know what the doctor's, physician's information is. You don't know what their specialty is. And you going up against a big joker yourself. So in order to make sure that the big joker is in your hands is you got to provide a medical nexus from a competent doctor that been putting their license on the line, put their signature on the line, putting their specialty on the line, putting a highly likelihood on the line, putting a medical rationale on the line, and being able to answer the phone when that VA rater is thinking that you're submitting an inauthentic claim. So I want you guys to understand that you got to understand that the VA is not playing. If you go into medical nexus companies and they haven't been vetted, or they don't have a specialty to make their claim. For instance, a migraine doctor, that's a neurologist, or an ear, nose, and throat doctor. Tinnitus is an audiologist or ear, nose, and throat doctor. We have audiologists on staff. We have all of these things that you need. And I'm going to tell you something. If I'm on the phone doing a consultation with you, and I know for a fact I cannot help you because I don't have the doctors. For an example, if I interview you and do a consultation, excuse me for going below the camera, and I know that you need a cancer doctor, an oncologist, I'm going to completely tell you the truth and say, listen, I would love to help you, but I can't help you legally on a medical nexus because I don't have an oncologist. If you say you got an eye problem, and I know that you need an ophthalmologist, I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry, I can't help you legally because it all boils down to Title 38, Part 4. If you don't get it right at the regional level, you're going to sit there and wait till a docket number gets called 5 years later and banking on if that person submits adequate or inadequate information and whether or not this veteran law judge down here, Sean Speranza, or any other judge that don't know you, that don't love you, they'll make a decision on your claim. Once again, why would you go to a spades game without knowing the rules to the game? If there's no money on the line, the first thing you're going to ask, are we paying Joker, Joker, Ace or Joker, Joker, Deuce? I want to ask you right now, are you ready to play the game with the big joker? And if you are, I want you to stop watching and start clicking newlifeinsider.com right now. Let's get in the game. Let's get in the end zone with the proper medical evidence, the persuasive evidence, and the right medical nexus opinion letter. I'll talk to you soon. God bless.